All right, hello everyone. So let's start the week. It's Monday today. Let's take a look at gold as usual. Now, here we have, let's take a look at the monthly first. Now, on the monthly, as you can see with the highs here, the market's got potential to come down. As you can see, I've got an open position here just from this morning. This has got potential to come down, but it's also got potential to go up. Okay, why? Because on the daily, we're in a bit of a squeeze here. And if we break out, okay, this has got room to push back up again. And this is a sideways market, as you can see on the daily. So buying at the appropriate places on the lower side, like on the PST levels, like on Thursday as well. On Thursday, remember, on Friday, sorry, there I said you could go long there and push up. All right. So it still has some potential to go up. Now, what we got to look out for is this 4760, which is 2028, which is right on there on the weekly, right? So we've got potential to go there. If we break above that, obviously, then we're going to have to, we're going to push up, which is good because on the daily, that'll keep pushing upwards and then we should go higher and then we'll adjust that second take profit level. Never mind. That's got room to go up to 58, which is 2055. So if we do break out, we're going to have to get to 2055 on the weekly, and that's going to be a target for us. And that's not too bad at all, right? So it's going to be there somewhere, 2055, all right? Which should take us all the way up there if that happens, all right? But this is a nice opportunity, actually, because if it does break out, it'll give us a nice quick buck. In fact, if it breaks above that, let me move that there now. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put a line here. If we do come up to here, I'm going to manage the trade. All right, how's that? So this will be first take profit if we get there, which we should get there. Okay, and remember for gold, today is a swing day. I've posted the swing days and the hours. All right, so for gold, Monday is a swing day, so we could do that. If it comes up there, I'll move the stop loss off the second one below this level here, somewhere around there, and see how things pan out. If we break out even more, we should go to 2055, so we can target that as a weekly. If the market wants to sell, that will be a level where the market will want to sell down. There's a good up move here. We can even break above that. Okay, so we'll have to see how things pan out. All right, but that's how you can play out with gold. Now, if gold comes down, we got levels at 43 to buy, which is 2020. And on the weekly, it's there, 52, 2015, 81. So those levels, let me put this into a 15-minute chart. Those levels are still okay to go long at Astro hours. Okay. Now this zone was an Astro hour for today. I've posted these ones up before I started the video. So if you're following the members website, you should have had this 8:45, 9:35 zone here. Okay. And there is a bit of I've made a comment and there's a disruptive move towards 240. So if that disruptive move happens upwards, we should be okay. Okay, if it goes downwards, obviously we're going to get stopped out. Okay, but there is a sudden pushy move, and we're going to have to be careful for that at 141, which is going to be there. So 141, you want to be careful because after this, okay, from here, okay, from 141 to this hour zone could be a little tricky. It could be a nice pushy move, and then we'll see how things pan out. All right. So that could actually take us into the New York session as well until we get to 430 zone. All right. And we'll see how that pans out. But that's gold for you. So you can buy the lows. That's the daily. That's the weekly. Okay. Obviously, it's the stronger one. If it breaks below that, don't stand in front of it because that means we might be heading down into this zone here. Okay. On the weekly there, and that will take us down to at least 1992 or to 47, which is 1983. All right, so we have to be a bit careful with that. As you can see, the lows are still higher. Okay, So we're getting like that higher lows happening and a bit of a squeeze. So this is why I thought pushing up is not a bad idea, because the lows are still heading upwards. Now, obviously with the daily, as you know from previous analysis, you know sooner or later we're going to have to come down here as well. So we cannot disregard that the market will come back to these levels, okay? Because this is very, like, we'll want to come back and retest these levels. So I want to keep this in mind as well, that the market will want to actually come back, fill these in. And if they're going to buy, they're going to buy here or here, but highly likely we should come back into that zone. So it depends on that. In the interim though, because we're doing day trading, I don't think this is too much of a bad idea. Now, if you're trading with astrology, right, and all of a sudden you see, well, this could also be a swing down, couldn't it? What you can also do is move your stop losses up. The reason is I'm keeping the stop loss below 49, which is 2023.74. If you're using ATAM, by the way, we're working on MetaTrader 5, so that should come out soon as well. You see here on the 1 hour, it's 36.16. That's 2022.28. Okay, so the stop loss is just below 2022.28, because if it goes and breaks below that, we don't want to be there. All right. And because these are the Astro hour, you want to put your stop loss right below there, which works out with this PST level as well. And there's a bit of a breakout here on the 1 hour chart, which is why I took the trade as well, because it's like encouraging with a tight stop loss, and it should take us at least to the daily pivot where we can cover the trade. And if we break out above there, we should head into that 33 and higher. All right, so we'll see how things pan out. Let's take a look at SP500. So this is the new week. Let's take a look at the weekly. Now, remember last week we said if we come back to a good buy kiss, we could go long. And remember last week my platform had a bit of a drama, so I had to reset it up. Now, on the daily, as you can see, we've got targets up there. I've also posted the swing days, as you probably know. So if there are swing days up at the target zone, you don't want to muck around with them. It still has room to go up, as you can see. All right, so it's still going up. It's got room to go up. And on the weekly as well, if it comes back down into 73, which is 4,990, which is right on the weekly pivot there. So if we dip down into here, this is not a bad spot to go long. All right, 4,990. This is where the market bought before. Obviously, we've got room to kind of come down and fill in the gaps here. Let's check that out as well. So the market's got room to dip into here. So you have to be a bit careful with these. And we've got room to come down into this zone as well, as you can see. All right, so there's quite a bit of room to fill there. All right, and there are targets up there as well. Now, if the market goes up first, then selling is a better idea. If the market comes down first, then buying is a better idea. So you can just match it according to your technical analysis. All right. On the 1 hour chart, on the daily chart, let's see what those targets are. So I've got 78, 79, 82. That's 5,049.64. Okay, so 5,049.64 is there. All right, so those will be targets there on the daily. All right, so coming down here is okay. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart on the SP500. Now, obviously, if you've got your own technical analysis, that's great. If you're using the ATAM, though, what you can do is if the market's broken down like this, for example, you don't want to be buying here. It's right on the resistance. You want to buy in the lower end. Okay, you can also do this with your ATAM. If you do this and that, okay, that will also give you a level. If the market comes down here, for example, at Astro hours, and then, then you can kind of like push up with it and go up with it as well. All right, so that's that. So I'm just going to extend this a little bit more into here and extend this into here as well. All right. And from a weekly perspective, as you can see, the market's got room to come down into that zone and even further if it breaks down. But in the meantime, until the swing days, okay, which the swing days for SP 500 is going to be tomorrow. If we head up there tomorrow, we'll check it out and then we'll see how things pan out. Okay, let's do this. I don't know why it's not working that great. So hopefully the MetaTrader 5 will be ready for the 8 a.m. soon as well. But that's how you can plan it out. Those can be targets. If you want to keep following it up, it's okay. Euro dollar on the weekly. Let's take a look what we have. Now that's nice and easy on the weekly. Last week, remember? So going up was okay to do so. So the market is picking up. Nice and easy right from those levels. So euro dollar, you should have had a really good trade on actually. Now we've got room to go up, as you can see. So the euro dollar's swing day is going to be Thursday, Friday. Maybe this will keep pushing up. Now what you want to do with this is wait for the market to come down first before you go up. And that should be probably back into Asia session. All right, so you want to come back here, the weekly, and then go up. Okay, on the daily, as you can see, this has been like pushing up, up, and up. All right, because it's been pushing up, it's got, it's got a bit of room to pull back down. What target can you take? 51, which is 1.0838. 1.0838. Let's push that up there. 1.0838. That's on the daily, and on the weekly, your first target will be that 49.0830, which is pretty close to that. It's only 8 pips away, 1.0830. So this zone is a target zone. All right, but buy it on the pullback, either on the weekly at Astro hours. You can also do this if you want to sketch it out in that zone. Okay. There you go. So if it dips back down, buying is not a bad idea at Astro hours. On the monthly, let's see where we've got a breakdown here on the monthly on the PST. So if the market goes up, there'll be some keen sellers as well. Okay. On the daily, that will be this level here. All right. Or if it wants to take out everybody's stop loss, 56 is 0871. You can sell there as well. 0871 if it gets up there. All right, it's a bit far out, but we'll put that there. Okay, and that's how that pans out in my opinion. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, Bitcoin. Now on Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. So this is Nasdaq. Now remember I said if the market turns on Friday, it's got room to go up, and it's pretty much done all that. It's got one more place to go up into. If the weekly comes back into 73, that'll be a support level, which is 17,805. So 17,805, which is right there again. So if we come into the weekly pivot, okay, 17,805, it's going to be there. This is not a bad area to buy at an Astro hour to push back up. If it goes up first, you got a target of 77.51, which is 18,164. So you can put 18,164 on there. 18,164. All right, so if the market starts to push up, you know where you're going. On the weekly, that line is your LCL1, which is 18,405, which is way, way up there. So we'll cross that bridge if we go above that line there. Okay, and that's how it should be. All right, so that's that. Now there's also room to dip back into there, but this PST level here on the daily is 67, which is 17,849. 17,849, which is on the daily. So you got the weekly, 17,849 on the daily, which is pretty much there. So two places where you can buy at Astro Hours. There's a bit of a gap here, so it might just do a bit of an infringement down. Let me put that into 17,1849 to be exact. There, all right. So there's a bit of a gap there, so you have to be mindful of that. But that zone should be an okay zone to buy for the market to push up if it's going to go up. And the trend is going up, so buying on a pullback, not a bad idea. Now this zone I marked in last week, and I said if it breaks out on a pullback, you can go long. If you went long on the pullback on Thursday, that should have also been okay. And on Friday, I said we got room to flow upwards as I made that comment. So I said if the market swings, it should go up into those 11 p.m., 10:30 p.m. in the evening, I think I said. And that's how it went up to nice and easy. All right, so same kind of thing. If the market dips down, going up is not a bad idea. On Dow Jones, we're going to do same kind of thing here. As you can see, look, on Friday, see how the market is basically buying on the PST. So if you're following your PST indicator, you see it's going to give you the price level, and then you just go with the price level at the Astro Hour. It just makes life easy. Now here the weekly support is, as you can see, is 75 and that's 74 level. So that's 38,463,573. So we've got 38,573 is pretty much there. 38,463 was it? Is around there. Okay, and you can see that zone I marked in, and that was just nice and easy. Okay, so one more thing. Now what? Okay, so as you can see, it's still sideways, pretty choppy. You see how the market took out all the stops to pull back, but do we still have targets up there? Now, the first resistance of today is going to be 67 on this one, and that's 38,753. So you want to put a 38,753 right there. Okay, so that's your first resistance of the day. I'm just going to get rid of this. Right. And let's do that. And if we go above, what is our target? Well, on the weekly, I don't have much. It's right at the tops there. But look, that 65.37 is 39.16. And 39.16 is on your cards. So if we head up into there, this is going to be a target on the monthly. Okay, so I wouldn't be a buyer around there. So if you want to buy, just do it here. If you want to be a seller up there, it's not a bad idea because it's a monthly PST level. Okay, and a monthly PST level, that's like nice. Nice to see the market pushing down from there. All right. And on the daily, do I have such a level? 77, 39, 411. We'll only think about that if we break above the monthly. Okay. And that's basically it on this one. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, once again, we're going back into that sell zone. As you can see, it's right on the PST, 77, which is 48,369. Okay, so 48,369. This is, what is it, 15-minute, 48,369. 48,369 is right there, as you can see. Okay, so the market just fell below there, but it's broken above it. So will this weekly break out? It's a possibility. All right, but this zone is a sell zone. It's slightly high because of the gap there. Okay, now does it still have potential to go up? Well, the markets can go up. Why? Because of that gap there, it can. But because they've sold so tremendously here, this is not our buy zone. Also on the daily, okay, remember what we needed to do was to break below these support levels, and it did so, okay? So this could end up like a double top, and then once we break it down, the target will be, if it breaks down, I'll tell you what the target will be, so you have an idea. From here to here, it's, as you can see, what is it? It's 1054, 434. Will it be that far down? Can't be that much down. Use that. Around there. Okay. So around 104. Well, around there. Okay, so 28,000 basically. So let's put 28,000 there. All right, which is not a bad spot at all. Okay. And that will be this zone there. Right, might just slightly breach it there. Okay. So that's still on the cards if it breaks below that, because if that turns out to be a shorting signal, then you can see it might end up all the way back down here. All right, and that's not a bad spot either. So I don't think buying there is a good idea, is the best of ideas. So if you want to sell, where can you sell? Maybe the LCL one, 49,544. On the weekly, maybe just here. Right now, put your stop loss just above the high of that. And on the monthly, you can just wait for this 69, which is 49,281. Okay, 49,114, 49,281. So if I do 49,281 is there, 49,144 is there. All right, so this is also a sell zone. All right, right on the monthly. Okay, so that could be an option as well, because that's looking pretty good right there. As you can see, that 7, and you got, what do we have there? 70, 50,656. Okay, 50,656, and that's the last straw. 50,656, around there. Okay, so there's still a bit of potential to kind of push up, as you can see. But what should happen is a sell-off either here or slightly higher from there. All right. And that is that for Monday.